What is up, guys? I put out a question yesterday in the group, basically saying, hey, let me know where you could use the most help in your brick and mortar gym right now. And I am back to answer those questions. I'm in the group right now, and I am going to look at them. So the first one is from Tracy Reed, basically saying, I haven't watched any of your videos, so maybe I'll see it in here. I don't really want to give up my physical gym. Good, because you shouldn't. But we are down 46% of the clients we had before we closed down for COVID. We are doing online, but we want human interaction in my gym. As you can tell, it is much different to have an online business than it is to have a brick and mortar business. Honestly, if you do only online clients, I wouldn't even consider yourself a gym owner. It's just that much different. You're more of an administrating, health coach. So unless you're meeting with them or whatever it may be, which is nothing. There's nothing wrong with that. But a gym owner is a lot different. The physical interaction, the spotting of form, the coaching them. You're coaching them physically and pushing them past levels that they otherwise couldn't achieve without you. That is what it means to be a trainer, to be a gym owner. Again, nothing wrong with online trainers, but I think they're two different things here, and you really have to decide what it is you want to do with your life and what gives you the most fulfillment and the most happiness. Because there's a big difference between going in to work every day, surrounding with high energy music and smiling people and a great environment, bright colors, grabbing barbells, and that, or getting ready for your day and popping open your laptop, and that's where you work. I think it's a lot different. So you just have to make that decision. Even if you could make a couple more dollars nowadays, which I don't believe you could, but even if you could, doing strictly online due to COVID, is that going to lead to your happiness? In my case, no. If I made, let's say, 25% more revenue being an online coach, but I could never go to the gym, I could never do any of those things or talk to the people I like or anything like that, I don't want that extra 25%. I want to do what's going to make me happy. So sorry, I'll get back to the question. Anyways, people are scared. People say they are broke. So what is your advice? Or have you already posted it? Okay, so this is a good question, right? People are telling me that they are not ready to come back to the gym. They are scared, whatever it may be. The only answer I have for that is those are some people. And there's always going to be that minority, or even if you believe that's the majority of people at the moment, that's okay. That's fine. Those aren't the people that you are looking to get into your gym right now. Okay. So when it comes to advertising, marketing, attracting the right people, doing a reactivation, so all of your old leads, do you have a way to text them? Do you have a way to email them, reach out to them? What you'll need the message you want to give those people are, you have a new program that you think would be absolutely amazing for them, and it addresses the issues that they might have. Okay, not the price issue. We're not going to lower prices for people. In fact, I'd argue that you might want to increase prices because you're going to have more of a semi-private environment due to social distancing and whatnot. So what the most important message to get across to them is you have a new offer that you think they'd be an amazing fit for. If they're old members or old leads, if there's somebody brand new that you're maybe marketing to on Facebook, whether it's in a group, whether you're running in direct ads at them, you'll say, look, we have seen the challenge of COVID and we have conquered it, and here's what we are doing to make sure that our local community gets in amazing shape, and it is your new offer, whatever that may be. Okay, and I'd recommend it's something a little bit more high ticket than what you're used to doing, like large group, and here's what you have to just accept. You have to accept the fact that it is going to cost you more money to acquire customers right now, period. Okay, it's going to cost you more money. However, if you know your math, if you know the numbers, and I did a video on this earlier or last week about knowing your numbers and the cost of acquisition versus lifetime value, you can still grow your brick and mortar gym. As an example, let's say you normally get $5 leads as an example, but now they're $25. It's going to cost you $25 to get the person that aligns with that message. Do not give them a incorrect message. Don't tell them, hey, I have this free whatever it may be, and then they come in and they're like, dude, I don't have money for this. Don't give them a message that is false. Tell them what your offer is. Tell them exactly how it works, and just accept the fact that you're going to get less leads for your money. But if you can win that customer's business, the lifetime value of them at your gym should, in most cases, exceed the cost of acquisition. So back to what I was saying before, let's say you have $25 leads, you spend, let's just say you spend $100 that day. Okay, so you get four leads with your $100, and only 2 of them schedule an appointment, and of those 2, only 1 of them show up, and you close that person, right? You close them on your new offer. Why? Because you did high quality, not high quantity ads, so they're ready to be closed, and you have a sexy offer that attracts them, and they're ready to come in because you were very transparent in your ads and your landing page if you had one, or your Facebook group if you're using that, but you were very transparent in how you're able to help them and what you're doing. High quality here, no bait and switch. Don't do anything gimmicky, or they're gonna say they don't have the money because you're attracting the wrong kind of people. But you sign them up, right? So what is your cost for acquisition on that, right? Now, if you extrapolated that out, you could be at anywhere from $250 to $300 cost to acquire that customer. Pretty high, probably double than what you're used to spending. And if you don't know how to find the cost of acquisition, watch that other video. But even if you doubled the amount that it costs you to acquire the customer, what is the program you're selling them, and what is the lifetime value of that program? I'd recommend something like $69 a week, right? To do maybe a private training session along with 3 group, small group training sessions, whether it's like 8-on-1, 10-on-1, social distanced out, but you pair them up with a coach that's going to help them with nutrition, goal setting, accountability. So that 30-minute meeting they have every single week with their coach makes them feel like they have a private trainer, but they're still working out 4 times a week because they're in this group, right, of people. Maybe it's half the size, but at $69 a week, what is that? $300 a month, right? So how many months do you need to keep them until you have doubled the cost to acquire them? 2 months, that's all. But you just need a sexy hook to get them in, right? So that's what my strategy would be as far as getting new people in that are scared and people saying that they don't have enough money. You simply have to target different people and be okay with the cost that it means to target high quality people. Make some high quality ads. Don't do anything that is going to make them think like it's gimmicky or anything like that. And yes, you will not have $10 leads, but you have to be okay with that and trust the fact that the people that do show up are serious, that do come in, really do want to get started, and they'll close a lot easier than meeting with the normal 20 people you might per week, and you only close 2 of them, and you're like, it's a lot different. You might meet with, 3 people and close 2 of them because they're much higher quality leads, right? And as long as you know your math, and as long as you're selling something that's high ticket, which by high ticket, I mean like $300 a month or more, and you're not selling a mid ticket, because let's say you sell something for $149 a month, right? And you have to guarantee that you keep them at least 3 months before you break even on your acquisition. Well, you don't have 3 months worth of cash to float before you collect it to make it back, which is why you have to sell something more expensive, which is fine as long as you can back it up with a more expensive service that fits the bill. Okay, so that's my answer to how to grow your brick and mortar gym during a weird time, is go after the people that want to come in, and they are out there. It's just going to cost you a little bit more to find them, but don't worry, because if you have a good offer and a good service, they'll still sign up, and you'll make 2 to 3 times what you normally would. Okay, you can use this situation to your advantage, and people will now more than ever want to train one-on-one and supplement it with small to large group training sessions as well. Okay, so let me get into the next question. Damian Meyer. What's up, Damian? How do we get some peeps back through the door? Same answer here, guy. It's going to come. It's going to come down to, if you are getting no-showed a lot, it's because you are attracting the wrong kind of person. And it's just that simple. Think about it like this. If you're really interested in something and you see an offer on Facebook and the call to action for that offer, whether it's on Facebook or a landing page, is, hey, book an appointment and I can make your dreams come true. I can help you with that. That's the offer. If it was me, I would schedule an appointment and I would show up for that appointment. But what if you're just clicking around and browsing, right? I saw an analogy the other day. I forgot who wrote it, but it's basically like, look, you're in the market to buy a car, okay? You want to buy a car. And there are literally dealerships everywhere. And they're right across the street from each other. And you may go on all of these different websites, if this is how the car industry works, in order to see their inventory, you gotta put in your name, your phone number, your email, right? And then you can see the inventory, see all the cars they have, how it works. Does that mean that you are ready to commit to every single dealership that you put your information in? No, you just wanted to find out more, right? You just wanted to know more about what they have to offer. But maybe you're not that serious. Maybe you reached out to 10 different places. Maybe you only decided that you're gonna go in to the one place that really spoke to you or followed up with you, okay? So coming full circle with that, your show rate is most likely low because your offer is too abundantly it's not specific enough to get that person that says, you know what, that's exactly what I need. I'm going to click on this appointment and I'm going to come in and I'm going to show up and I'm going to sign up, right? You could be marketing something that says like, hey, you want to get in shape for free? All you have to do is click here and we'll hook you up. Something like that. Yes, you're going to get a lot of people that click on that. You're going to get a lot of car shoppers that are in the market for losing weight. But you can't blame them for not showing up. You didn't tell them much. You didn't offer them much. You had a sexy hook. What if you said, hey, Waukesha area men, I have this promotion going on and it's called Lean by Halloween, and it is a program that's specifically designed for anybody that's looking to lose weight, build muscle, train at my gym located here. P.S. This is not a free challenge. It's for people that are absolutely serious about making a change in their life and having us kickstart it for you. You'll have to come in and meet with me for an appointment. And as soon as they click on that, they end up on let's say a funnel that says, answer these questions, right? Do you plan on showing up for your appointment? Are you willing to invest in yourself? Are you going to get back to me if I text or email you? If the answer to these, if any of these are no, do not schedule an appointment. It doesn't take them to the next page. They answer yes, yes, yes. They give you their information, their name, their phone number. Then they schedule an appointment and they book the date and they book the time. And then you reach out to them immediately to confirm it and say, if you don't confirm this appointment within an hour, it's going to be automatically canceled. And then follow up on that. I bet you that your appointments that you have show up, or else they never make it on your schedule. Okay? And do you have to be okay with having less appointments on your schedule, but them actually showing up and being much higher quality so you can close them? Remember, the people that made it through this pre-qualification that I just walked you through, the people that made it through that are going to be qualified leads, right? That are going to buy. And don't be scared if the price is, $30 to $40 per person. Because if they show up, What are you planning on selling them on? Now, Damien, you're in FitBiz University, so I know what you're going to sell them on. And when you close them, which you've done a great job, you're going to make a lot more money than it's going to cost you to acquire that customer, right? And so what I would say is if you're getting no-showed, you're putting out the wrong message. You're putting it out to, it's not specific enough. It's not detailed enough, it's not targeting, and you don't have enough qualifications to weed out the crap. So yes, you may look at your week and see a whole bunch of appointments on the schedule, basically they're not that serious, and that means they're not going to show up. Okay, so there's a couple ways that you can do it. If you're not running ads, I see that Sam messaged you and says, hey, let's get some ads going. That probably means you're not running ads. So the first step would be start doing something to acquire, to get your message out there. Now we can run reactivations for you, which means we can get I have your list of all of your old leads, and I can get them going. We can run ads for you. We can do whatever you need to, but that's the process that I would go through. If you're not getting any leads at all, then obviously you have to do lead gen. We'll hook it up to your website as well, so you can have your SEO and your organic free leads pumping into your system for you. But if you are running ads and you're getting no-showed, that would be my answer. One more, guys. Cody Weber. Leading your team to be incredible and how to hold them accountable when they don't perform, how to handle the underperforming staff over time. Okay, I've been here. I've been in this situation where I had a staff that was not underperforming because of them. They were underperforming because of me, right? Because of me. And it all starts with leadership. And I truly believe that you, as the owner of the business, need to own absolutely everything in that world. Cool thing about owning a business is it's like your own. It is like your own world, right? It's your own economy. You control. You are the judge, jury, and executioner. You control everything. You make the rules. You make the laws. It's your business. Yes, there's an ecosystem outside of it, but within that ecosystem, you control all, right? And so if you have a team that is underperforming, who's to blame for that? You are. You acquired them. You trained them. Right? You're incentivizing them. You're leading them, right? So you are the one to blame for an underperforming team. Once you accept that, then you're free to move forward and make those changes. And that's a lesson I had to learn. I always thought, and this is a while ago before I took ownership over everything, I said, man, these trainers are shitty. They are only looking out for themselves. They don't care about the company. But why should they if I didn't have their personal incentives completely aligned with the business's incentives? Their goals align with the business's goals. Now it takes some time to get that, and some people, once you start implementing those changes, will not be able to convert to the new style of business. But that's because you acquired them and set the wrong expectations at first, and you may need to replace them. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about just getting your team on board. The first thing you have to do is you have to make sure that these 3 things exist in each one of your employees. Number 1, great communication. So they understand exactly what you want them to do, okay? They need to understand what their objective is. When they come into work every single day, what is it that you expect of them? How do they know if they are excelling at their role or not, right? And we teach this in FitBiz, and we give them 4 R's documents. We give them goals. At the end of the month, we have a scoreboard where they see every single day where they stand on this scoreboard. And obviously if they hit 100% or higher, they earn a bonus. But this is a very clear-cut way for them to see if they are doing what is being asked of them. And we have a way of judging that. Your employees need to have really clear communication with you as the owner as what you expect them to do. Okay, if they don't know, if I were to walk into your gym and you had 5 coaches, let's say, and I met with them all individually and I said, hey, what's your job and what is your goal working for this company? What are you supposed to produce, or how does the company benefit from you working here? And I got 5 different answers from 5 different employees. That's how you know that's how you know that communication might be a big issue. So 2 things you want to do, and I recommend reaching out to Jason Skisik for this because he's a wizard at it. One would be create a really good mission statement saying this is our company and this is why we exist and this is our goal as a team. And number 2, create your core values. So these are the values that we live by when executing this mission. And when you do that, when everybody knows the mission, like, hey, our goal is to have 1,000 transformations by the end of 2 years or whatever it may be, and they know the values, like, you know, as an example, you could have like something like adapt or die, right? That's a value. Like, look, if the situation isn't going exactly according to how we planned it, you have to be able to adapt. And everybody is their own boss, right? So if you, as an example, if you need to make a decision at the time, we trust you to make that decision, right? You don't have to come ask us. That's another core value. You know, treat the business like it's your name on the front door. That could be another value where you want them to exhibit ownership over their clients, right? And they own their clients' results. They own their clients renewing new programs. They own their clients that want to cancel or maybe put on a membership freeze. They own all of that, right? Because it is that you want them to feel like it's their business, right? Within yours. Maybe that's another core value. So my point is this: if your employees know what the mission is of the whole gym, and then they know how to go about conducting that mission, which is core values, then it's much, much easier to lead somebody like that because they're intrinsically motivated and they are independent, right? They're operating independently of you being the end all. We call it decentralized command, so to speak, where they do not need to ask a question of the person in charge, wait for the answer, come back down, get the answer, and then execute it, right? They can make all those decisions immediately like that and then do their job really, really good because they already know what you would do if you were there because they understand the mission and they understand the core values. So 9 times out of 10, they're going to make that same exact decision as you would if you had to do it yourself. So that's the first thing, is making sure that the communication is really strong. The second thing is, once you have that communication that's really strong, you need to identify if they have the skill sets. So number 2 is skill sets. Do they have the actual skills to perform the job and get the results that you're asking of them? Do they have that? So as an example, if I had to have my front desk person fill in for the yoga instructor, she simply lacks the skill sets to do the task that I am asking her to do. She will never be successful. She will always underperform because I acquired the wrong person. She doesn't have the skills, right? And that's my fault. And she needs to get into a different role. And if there is no available roles, unfortunately, I have to, reap what I sow and find somebody that does have those skill sets. So that's number 2. Take a look at all of your employees and ask them some questions and really get to know them via one-on-ones and identify if they have the skills after you've identified what each one of their goals are and how those goals are going to help the business. After you've identified what those are, you'll need to make sure that you're confident that each one of your coaches or staff members actually has the skills to do what you're asking them to do. It might be the case where they used to, but based on their new role and what you need them to do to help your business, they may or may not still have the skills. You have to identify that. The final piece would be motivation, right? Number 3 is motivation. So it's very possible that the communication is now good, right? And so they do understand what you need them to do. They get it. And they also have the skill set, right, to do that thing. But they may not be motivated to do it. And that's because they're not incentivized. It doesn't get them excited to get out of bed and go execute a mission for you. Now that's where leadership comes in. So do they have a reason to be incentivized? Whether it's financial, whether it is continuing education, whether it is a shout out or props like employee of the month, whether it is a vacation or something like that, paid time off. If they achieve what you're asking them to achieve, what do they get in return? right? And that's how you can motivate somebody. But make sure that when they achieve what they have to achieve to get that thing, what they've achieved is very advantageous for the business, right? So now if you have 5 staff members and they're all trying really hard to hit this goal to achieve what you've asked them to achieve, all 5 of them hit it, yes, you might pay them out more or you might do X, Y, or Z, but what does the business get in return for that, right? And so that's the final piece, is motivation. If they're unmotivated people, it's because they're not motivated by you as the leader, right? And what I'd recommend is if you want to work on your leadership skills, there's a lot of great books out there, like Extreme Ownership is a great one. Team of Teams is another great one. 4-Hour Work Week is great for delegating things and teaching you how to be okay with other people, so you're not doing everything yourself like a control freak, which as a byproduct it gives you more leadership because you're okay with delegating things. There's a lot of good stuff out there, but I will tell you this, it takes time. I had a team that was all of those things that you just said. I had that, and it was 5 years ago, and they were unmotivated. They were underperforming. I was blaming them. And what I had to do was shift my mindset, right? And once I did that, I was able to turn half of that team around and had to let the other half of it go, okay? But now I have the absolute strongest team I've ever had. They're all very, very good at what they do. Half of them, like I said, were able to convert after I had that conversation of taking the blame, saying, guys, I did you a disservice. I led you wrong. I asked you to do the wrong thing. I wasn't a good leader, but I'm here to change things, okay? And I know it's going to take time, and I know that you're going to need to see that from me as an example, but I promise you I'll get there. And here's what I need from you in exchange, right? And I laid out their new role and the goals that they have, and half of them can cut it, the other half didn't. I let them go. I acquired new employees that only knew the new way, right? And train them and taught them. And after time, Cody, what you'll end up being is you'll be the leader, okay? You will be the leader of that team, and you no longer perform any day-to-day tasks. All you do is lead them. You work on them. You teach them. You build them up. You get them better at executing. You get them better at every single thing. You work on them like they're your project, like they're your business, because they will become that. Your team will become your business. And the more you can improve them and increase their skill sets and increase their motivation and increase their ability to execute, the more you can do that and make sure that their mind space is right, the better your business is going to do, because they are doing all the day-to-day stuff and you are not, so you are leading them. So anyways, guys, this has turned into a long video, but I'm hoping that I answered all of your questions. I'll post it to the group, and then I will see you guys tomorrow for the next piece.